Okay, back out on the Mercury. I got all the eyeballs in, and they work. I've just been fiddling a little bit more on the interior. I got all the lights sorted out and marked. I got all the lights working. My main switch for the headlights is working. My key ignition key tumbler device. This is the one that's not a genuine Ford part, but I've got this working. So my interior electrics is working. Even this light up here, which I'm kind of shocked. I'm gonna plug the battery in. It's a little bit hard to believe, but the dome light works. So, and even works with this right here. I got this. Of course, I put my headlights on. Headlights are on. High beam, low beam. Low beam, high beam. So I do have a new one of these switches coming. This one was completely jammed up, but it's pretty much freed up now, but I do have one coming. This is my new headlight switch that I got from Rock Auto. And the instrument lights work. I can get them all to work. It's just that right now they're dangling and they're not grounded. So if I simulate a ground, let's get this instrument lights going. Which one is this? Instrument. Turn the lights on. Let's put the key on. That's the telling me the generator's not charging. Of course, that would work. The fault lights always work for some reason, even when they're 58 years old. This is an instrument light. Why is that not coming on? Put the dimmer on. There it is. There's the instrument light. There's two of those. Now I can only do these one at a time because they have to be grounded. But anyway, you get the idea. These are all working. Signal lights. That is not working. I'm not there yet. Let's turn these off. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to do, since I got this sorted out here, and another thing, I'm going to show this. This is an early Christmas gift I got, and I got this from my daughter. I kind of requested it. And look how beautiful this is. This is a wiring diagram. I got tired of looking on my phone at the little black and white schematic that I could not pan open because you have to pay money for these. So we broke down, and she said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I said, "Well, I have pretty much everything I want." But I said, "What about a wiring diagram? It's only $36. So she ordered this for me. It's beautiful wiring diagram. It's laminated. It's color-coded. And, you know, on a car like this that has not been hacked up too much, I mean, this was hacked up. And this gave me grief, but I did figure it out. I mean, the colors are all there. And when you clean these wires up, you know, the blue and purple and the yellow, like I know that this yellow here, it's for my gas gauge. I know that because it's right there. And my blower motor, oh, you know, you got this funky red and orange. Well, there's the funky red and orange right here. I mean, it's, you know, gosh, instead, it takes the guesswork out of everything. Now, this is still old school. This has the generator and the voltage regulator. And of course, I'm not quite there yet, but you can see the high beams, low beams, turn signals. I mean, you can, you know, if you want to take your time, if you're stuck, you can follow line by line. And even these, you can come up to these oh, it was getting late. These funky junction point. And if you follow those under the dash, you're going to find them. It even throws in the power tailgate if you were to have one of those rancheros. But this is for the Falcon and the Comet. course, the Comet has the 4 headlights, so, and it clearly says there, that's the difference. So this was an early Christmas gift for me. Absolutely fantastic. I've got all this sorted out and marked. I've got everything sorted out and marked under the dash. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to progress. I've already done a little bit of interior work, and maybe I'll show that right now. A little bit of odds and ends, painting, and trim work. So why don't I show that now? Okay, so we're just going to do a few odds and ends here. I got some little interior trim pieces off of the 62 Comet. This is the rear panels just below the window. This is the right side. I see the chrome trim is not very nice, or not chrome, but stainless, whatever this is. Not very nice. I'm going to try to clean this up. This I'm going to spray paint in yellow once it's cleaned up. This is all the trim that goes at the base of the windshield on the inside, right above the dash. So we're going to paint this with the bright yellow Rust-Oleum, and let's see how this turns out. Okay, so I got all my parts clean for now. I'm going to give them a light sand before I paint them. Right now I thought I would try to polish up a little bit of this trim here. This trim is very rough, and although the car came with a lot of trim pieces, I do not have any spares of these. So I've been putting them through the wire wheel, and they're coming back a little bit. And I do mean a little bit, not much. So let's show you what I've been doing here. Try to do this one-handed. So I'm at work, obviously, and I got used to the nice workshop, so I can take my trim. I'm running it like this on the wire wheel. You get the idea. The thing is noisy, but I mean, there's no really, I'm not restoring these by any means, but it's definitely an improvement. That's pretty much as good as I'll be able to get it. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna do a little bit more on this one, then I'll jump to that, and then I will jump into my favorite bright yellow paint. Alright, let's see how these turn out. Okay, now this is an example of the side trim piece. I just got a little sanding block here, medium grit. I'm just going to lightly go over the surface. Lightly go over the surface. It's already been cleaned. I'm going to scuff this down. Wipe it down again with the brake clean. And go to town with the yellow. I don't even think I'm going to need primer for these because there's still lots of good paint underneath. I'm just prepping the surface now. And yeah, I got to do that to the rest of those. And the next time you see them, they should be Rust-Oleum yellow. Okay. Coat number 1. Coat number 2. Looking good. It's an awful lot of yellow. Well, we're committed. So I've been doing a little bit of interior work on the Mercury Comet. So I got the gauge cluster out, and as you can see, it's very pitted, very dull looking, very bumpy. So I don't have a spare one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wire wheel, same as what I did with some of the other trim pieces. See if I can knock this down a bit. I'm not going to make it perfect, but let's see if we can make this a little bit better. And there it is. I think it looks fine. Certainly fine for what I'm doing. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to continue. I'm cutting away the seal. This windshield's in pretty good shape. It does have a chip, but I think I'm going to, what I want to do is take this windshield out. And it's pretty much halfway out. Of course, I'm not going to do this one-handed. I do want to take this windshield out, and I am going to, since I got my interior sorted, well, let's turn these lights off and everything else before we burn our battery out. I want to take this dash pad out. I've ordered a new dash pad. The only one I could find was for a Falcon. I don't know if it's going to fit. Either way, I cannot have this monstrosity. So I just took the little, the ventilation grill and that. So that'll have to go in. I'll take that in and get that painted at some point. But I want to get this windshield out because I want to start prepping. It is winter here, but I do have a small heater that I'll bring inside. I want to start prepping this. I've got a lot of trim stuff all done in yellow like you just saw. But what I want to do is I want to paint this dash. Hopefully my pad will fit. If it doesn't, I could almost live with the bare steel if it was kind of smooth. I don't know what this is going to be like underneath. What I want to do is I want to strip this, take the windshield out, take the dash pad out, and I want to get this dashboard painted in my favorite bright yellow. Okay, well, it's a couple minutes later. I got the windshield out. That was easy. Everything looks good in the windshield, and now I got easy access to the dash and that, and I can get in. I can see some of my switches, some of my wiring, the radio, but I've uncovered something very, very scary and very ugly. As scary and ugly as this was nothing. This is what I've just uncovered. The flipping steel dash is rotted on this corner. I hope it's not rotted all the way through, but it is rotted right here. Right there. I'll put a couple fingers in there. Yeah. So, the cancer will always get you. That's the thing. The cancer will always get you. So how can a 58-year-old car have beautiful frame rails and floor pans? For the most part. Normally, a car would be rotted all the way up to here before you'd have this kind of damage. So this obviously this car sat out in the rain for probably several years. This car came from the prairies about 10 years ago, but it has been in Nova Scotia and obviously sat outside, and water would have got in and got underneath this. When you got foam and stuff, I mean, that's a perfect sponge for capturing water. It's very unfortunate. I'm kind of in shock. I'm not really happy right now about that, but there's nothing I can do. I gotta deal with this. I'm gonna keep peeling this back. Maybe I can make a piece of steel to cover this up. I don't know. I'm gonna make that curve. I don't have any fancy tools for that. If it was flat, I could do it, but it's not. Maybe the dash pad will cover it up. I don't know. I took a gamble on the dash pad. It's still not here. The dash pad is for a Ford Falcon. I'm not even sure if it's going to fit. So, I mean, I could be stuck with this mess and out a couple $100. So, yeah, I was not expecting that. Wow. Anyway, no sense whining about it. Now, on a good note, everything else here is perfect. This is perfect. Why is this perfect? This should be rotted. This should be rotted down to here. This should be rotted out down to here. But it's not so far. And it's not up here either. I see good metal. So I guess, this is not really structural, so we can deal with this. I just really was not. I just finished flapping my gums saying that I could live without the pad and just paint the steel, but yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to put this camera down and I'm going to carry on ripping this out and see where we get. Crusty. Well, we're back out on the car today, and I'm going to keep progressing on this dash repair. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I'm going to fiberglass this, spray foam and Bondo, cut a piece of steel, weld it in. I don't know. I haven't decided. There's all kinds of insulation in here, so not too keen on putting heat in here, but I don't know. Not sure yet. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep peeling all this old glue and foam. So, put this camera down and get to it. Okay, back out on the Comet. Got the dash all cleaned up, got the old pad peeled, and got this all nice and smooth. Plan is to paint this. But like I mentioned, we have this rusted out area here, which I've ground, I've sanded, I've ground, I've rust treated. And now what I'm going to do is my attempt to repair this is I'm going to try to fiberglass it. So I got some resin. I got this fiberglass mesh with the hardener. I'm going to try to fix this with fiberglass, and then I'm going to plastic fill, sand, smooth, and that's how I'm going to deal with this. This is not a structural piece. Some people might judge my method of repair, but I just got all the lights, and I got probably about 80 or 90% of the wiring under here sorted out. There's wires under there. There's insulation in here. So I'm not cutting. I don't want to use any heat. I'm not going to weld. Like I said, I've treated the metal to the best of my ability with the rust converter and everything. I've ground it down. I am going to cover this in fiberglass. So let's see how this turns out. Well, I got my little heater set up in here. I've got one layer of fiberglass on there. Messy as crap, but pretty easy stuff to use. Our hole is completely covered up. I'll let this cure up overnight. Not going to kill myself doing this. I got one layer on. Going to let this cure. Again, I'm trying to do some good prep. I have ordered a dash pad cover, but the only one available is for the Ford Falcon. I'm not sure if it's going to fit. If it fits, bonus, we'll cover all this crap up. If it doesn't fit, then, I'm going to live with the steel dash. And I'm going to sand this smooth, and I'm going to paint all this anyway. But if the pad does not work, then I will live with the steel dash. So I'll have to make this so that you can't tell that it was ever like that. But I think it can be worked. One layer fiberglass. We'll give it a second one if need be. And if it's good after that, maybe we'll go with the plastic filler on there. But I got lots of material. The stuff's not that expensive. And, I just wasted a good brush here. But other than that, no big deal. I'll get another brush, another cup. Okay, we'll let this set up. We'll see what this looks like the next day. And going to carry on with this dash. Going to get this interior painted. Going to reinstall some of the trim that I painted previously. And, yeah. Okay. Okay, well, I got my my fiberglass and resin sanded down. It's a pretty nice batch. I think this is going to work just fine. A couple low spots. I'm going to come back with some plastic filler, Bondo. And I will do a light coat on here, sand, and be ready for some primer and paint. Yep, I'm glad I went this route. Not everyone might agree, but I think this was right for this area. Okay.